Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Car and Bike Show. Lots lined up for you from the Indian auto sector this time as well, including some interesting comparisons, be it two wheels or four wheels. But we begin with the big news from the auto industry as usual, and this week indeed was quite happening. In a monumental move for road safety in our country, the Government of India earlier this week launched the much-awaited Bharat New Car Assessment Program or Bharat NCAP. The aim is to give you, the consumer, safer, crash-tested and star-rated cars so that you can make an informed choice when making a new purchase. Take a look. Bharat NCAP will become operational from October 1, 2023 onwards, and according to the government, more than 30 cars have already lined up for testing. Leading car makers like Maruti Suzuki and Hyundai have already confirmed that they will be sending vehicles for crash tests, where the protocols will largely be based on global NCAP and Euro NCAP standards. Cars will be awarded ratings between 1 and 5 stars and will be judged for adult occupant protection, child occupant protection and fitment of safety assist technologies. There will be a frontal impact test at 64 km per hour, a side impact test done at 50 km per hour and a pole side impact test compulsory for vehicles to achieve a rating of 3 stars and above. Cars will need to secure a minimum of 27 points on adult occupant protection and 41 points on child occupant protection, in addition to having electronic stability control as standard in order to secure a full 5-star rating. Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said that having a car tested abroad costs roughly 2.5 crore rupees, but a Bharat NCAP test will cost just 60 lakh rupees. Another area where there's a big push from the government is the use of cleaner flex fuel technology in the vehicles, and one manufacturer who's taking the lead here is Toyota. After launching a pilot project on a strong hybrid flex fuel tech in India late last year, the Japanese car maker is set to unveil a prototype of world's first BS6 Stage 2 electrified flex fuel vehicle. This new vehicle will be unveiled on August 29, and according to Toyota, it will be an important step in line with the Government of India's direction of minimizing carbon emissions. In October 2022, the brand had launched a pilot project on flexi-fuel strong hybrid electric vehicle technology in India by importing a Corolla Altis from Brazil. The idea was to promote and create awareness on ethanol as an indigenous and carbon-neutral energy option in our country. Earlier this month, a flex fuel version of the popular Toyota Fortuner also made its debut at the Indonesia International Auto Show. It is called the Fortuner Flexi Fuel E100 and runs on 100% bioethanol. From ethanol to electric, from 4 wheels to 2 wheels, and TVS Motor Company earlier this week launched what is the most expensive scooter from the brand yet, and is also the most expensive electric scooter ever to be launched in the Indian market. Here is all that you need to know about the new TVS X. The TVS X electric scooter is based on the company's Born Electric Xceleton platform. It rides on 12-inch alloy wheels, has a ground clearance of 175mm, a wheelbase of 1285mm, while the under-seat storage is 19 liters. From a styling point of view, the scooter derives heavy influence from the Creon concept shown at the 2018 Auto Expo, and the highlight here is the 10.25-inch high-definition TFT screen. TVS has revealed that the X will go from 0 to 40 km per hour in just 2.6 seconds with a top speed of 105 km per hour and promises a maximum range of 140 kilometers. It has been launched at an introductory price of 2.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom, and a portable 950-watt charger will add 16,275 rupees to the scooter's price. Deliveries of the TVS X will begin across 15 cities in December, and bookings are now open. And now it's time for those interesting battles I spoke about in the beginning of the show, and we start with motorcycles. The 150, 160cc segment in our country has a lot of good options, and choosing one is never easy for the buyer. Two of these options are the Yamaha FZ-S and the Bajaj Pulsar N160. We got both these bikes together to tell you which one suits you more.
India is the world's largest two-wheeler market, and many good motorcycles have made it to the limelight. While some of these have stayed around for a while, a good few have been present for several years. Some of them refuse to die, and while many get replaced by an updated model or something all new. Of course, everyone wants the latest and the newest, and so manufacturers face quite a challenge to keep their bikes and brands relevant, either by updating the same hardware or completely updating the model. But before we go there, welcome to Car and Bike, and do share and subscribe to our channel and press that bell notification while you are at it.
The Yamaha FZ-S has been around for close to a decade and a half now. On the other hand, the Bajaj Pulsar N160 is the latest modern derivative of the iconic Pulsar moniker. Yes, it is astonishing to think how the FZ-S has remained relevant and popular even today, even when its competition has moved forward with newer and fresher models like the N160.
Both the FZ-S and the N160 are consistently managing good sales numbers, and in the segment have managed to carve a niche place for themselves. So how relevant is the FZ-S in today's market, and how does it stack up against the N160? If you are in the market to buy a new bike, which one of these two should you buy? Let's ride and find out.
Both bikes are premium commuter motorcycles made for daily commute but with decent performance and dynamics. The FZ-S is all about sitting upright with a good view and having more motorcycle between your legs. And it has got a relaxed, unhurried personality. With the FZ's engine now producing less power compared to its previous iteration, it's not frantic, but still offers an easy-going, refined performance which is quite enjoyable. The wide, comfortable seat, the composed stance, and linear power delivery together make for a very pleasing riding experience. In comparison, it's the N160 which seems to have the edge in performance. It feels quicker, accelerates faster, and is always willing to tip into a corner. No wonder then, this Bajaj commands a healthy demand in the market despite its other siblings.
From the get-go, it is evident that the N160 is faster than the FZ-S. This motorcycle registers more power and torque, and the motor feels a lot more eager to build speed. The brakes on the Yamaha do offer a good feedback and a progressive bite. Meanwhile, on the Bajaj, the brakes do feel a bit wooden, but they do pack a solid punch if you had to squeeze them hard to shed speeds effectively. Both bikes get a similar suspension setup, a telescopic fork at the front and a monoshock at the rear. And while both do a good job of keeping the bike stable and well balanced on varying road terrains, including bad roads, the N160 is a smidge better at the job. Overall, the ride quality on both the bikes are similar, and so are the ergonomics. While the FZ-S feels more relaxed and composed, the N160, on the other hand, feels more engaging and dynamic in its experience.
The FZ is the pioneer when it comes to sharp, muscular, naked street design in this segment. It's a design trait which every other manufacturer has gone on to introduce in this segment. In its fourth generation, the Yamaha FZ-S gets some cosmetic updates, and the DLX trim introduced last year gets a nice looking LED headlamp flanked by LED DRLs which give it an aggressive stance. And now the FZ-S Deluxe also gets segment first traction control system. The gold finished wheels add a hint of bling, and the instrument console is Bluetooth enabled. In the case of the N160, it is almost identical to its elder sibling N250, barring the powertrain and few bits, which is a good thing. The motorcycle has an intimidating look with sharp lines giving it definition. You get an LED projector headlamp, stylish instrumentation, split seats, and an aggressive styling overall. Among the two, the N160 comes with the option of dual channel ABS.
In the deluxe variant is the FZS that looks and feels more premium, more modern. in the N160, while it has got its sporty styling and compact dimensions, it looks a bit busy in terms of design due to the overload of the graphics.
Yes, being the older one here, the FZS comes across as a mature and brawny motorcycle compared to the N160, which feels feisty and modern. The fact that the N160 is newer and it shares its design with the bigger N250, it works in its favor in getting a second look on the streets. It isn't difficult to see why both the Pulsar N160 and the Yamaha FZ-S are the preferred choice of many premium commuter motorcycle buyers. Good fuel efficiency, agile handling, and decent performance have made both bikes fulfill the requirements for many commuter motorcyclists. Eventually though, it's time to pick a winner, and in this comparison, it's not going to be that simple a decision. Both bikes rank high in terms of comfort, ergonomics, efficiency, and build quality. Yes, the FZ was the first to offer the Street Fighter styling, and it can accommodate a wider spectrum of riders due to its larger proportions. But the now underpowered mill and plain Jane riding experience doesn't make it as compelling as before. But if we had to pick one, it would be the Pulsar N160. The bike feels livelier, has more grunt, and if you aren't that keen on smartphone connectivity, it works out to be cheaper too. If you have found this video relevant, do like and share it. If you have a question, leave it in the comments box and we will have them answered. Thanks for watching.
Well, that was an interesting fight between the Bajaj and the Yamaha. Up next, we have got Yash, who is going to find out, can a boring commute to office be made fun while being affordable when you add electric vehicles to the mix? Check it out.
So the electric mobility market in India has seen a massive boom in the past couple of years. Just look at the sales figures for a few brands and it becomes pretty evident that Indians love their electric vehicles. Now if you are in the market for something small, compact, or more importantly easy to commute with, your options are the Tata Tiago EV or the MG Comet EV. So today is quite a gloomy Monday morning and I want to make it a bit more fun, so I'm going to take the MG Comet with me to work today. Follow me. Oh, and before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to Car and Bike, and also press the bell notification icon. So my commute to work takes me through a bit of traffic, a nice 3-lane highway riddled with potholes and more. It's about 20 kilometers one way and takes me about 45 minutes to an hour depending on traffic. Although while returning, the time does extend due to the traffic conditions, more of which you will see shortly. I love a few things about it and I dislike a few things about it. The things that I like about the MG Comet is the fact that it's extremely compact. Yes, it is actually pretty spacious on the inside and can seat 4 people. There are a lot of cubby holes where you can store a lot of things. No glove box sadly. Also the fact that the large infotainment screen houses a lot of information for your use. Now the things that I dislike about the MG Comet, first things first, I'm on a slightly rough patch of road and the suspension is extremely stiff. So you're going to feel every single bump on the road. The other thing is the fact that the tires are extremely small, so you have to be careful of the fact that you can puncture them if you go over a pothole a little too fast. Also speaking about going fast, up till 40 kilometers per hour, the car feels extremely comfortable to drive, but goes slightly faster and the steering wheel doesn't have a lot of weight to it and actually makes it feel slightly uncomfortable and a little jittery. I started out with 100% battery and the range showcased was about 200 kilometers. As I reach the office, I am left with 80% charge and 170 kilometers of range. Bear in mind that I had the wipers on, the air conditioning on, and I was driving in normal mode. The drive to work was quite easy, but the drive back home always includes traffic. Now, with the day nearly coming to an end, let's see what the Tiago EV does tomorrow. So after spending the entire day yesterday with the MG Comet, today I have to go to office for a short while, so I plan to take the Tiago EV with me. Let's see how that experience is. Before beginning, I decided to charge both these vehicles at a charger near my home, and that is where I realized a massive difference between the MG Comet and the Tata Tiago EV. So the advantage of the Tiago EV is the fact that it actually supports 25 kWh fast charging. Yes, you can use a 7.2 kWh charger to charge it, but when you're in a public place, or more importantly when you're commuting from work or when you're going back home, if you don't have a charger at home or in your workplace, you can still charge this up using a public station in under an hour. That means a 0 to 100 charge in an hour or an hour and a half to the max. That is the advantage that the Tiago EV has. So unlike the Tata Tiago EV, which actually offers a quick charging option, in the MG Comet, the only option that you have is a 3.3 kWh charger. Yes, it does come with an inboard charger just like the Tata Tiago, but it only supports 3.3 kWh charging, which means that after your commute, you're looking to charge this car for nearly 6 to 7 hours from 0 to 100%. So that is something you need to be mindful of. After charging both vehicles, let's head to work. After spending a good amount of time with the MG Comet yesterday, the moment I stepped into the Tata Tiago, it felt like a whole different experience. While the MG Comet is extremely futuristic and very modern, the Tata Tiago takes a more retro and simplistic approach. And yes, it actually has quite a lot of advantage to it as well, and some disadvantages as well. The first thing is the fact that when you look at the advantages, the acceleration is extremely on point. You have a decent amount of power, and it is actually very convenient to use when you're in the city or when you're out on the highway. Also, the suspension is extremely soft and pliant, and it doesn't make the ride feel extremely harsh like it did in the Comet. You actually have 3 different region settings, so you can set as to what sort of region you want, which actually helps the range slightly. Now, speaking about the range, Tata claims that this gets nearly 300 kilometers of range. But when you look at the realistic range, you're looking at somewhere around only 200 kilometers. That is what the MG does better, wherein it shows you 200 kilometers on the screen, but you actually get a range of around 180 kilometers. And you have quite a lot of creature comforts as well, such as you have a nice infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have a nice digital display in the front, which actually shows you a lot of information. The seats are very comfortable, but the biggest point that is the biggest advantage for the Tata Tiago is the fact that it actually has 4 doors and it can seat 5 people comfortably, and the fact that it actually has a usable boot. The only thing that I don't like about the Tiago as such is the fact that the brakes can be slightly better and the overall driving dynamics is on the softer side. So it is good when you want to use it in the city, but when you want to actually take it slightly faster and want to have some fun with it, you can't do that. But remember, at the end of the day, you're simply commuting to work and back, and for that, the Tata Tiago does edge over the MG Comet slightly. My drive with the Tiago EV was pretty unadventurous, and after quickly finishing my work, I head back home. Now, after spending the past 2 days commuting with both these vehicles, I have come to realize quite a lot of pros and cons of both these cars. Starting with the Tiago EV, there are a little bit of cons, but there are a lot of pros. The cons primarily being its design. It is quite outdated now, and yes, I like the paint job, but you know what? Tata could have done something to make this look a lot more funky, just like the Comet does. I know the Comet does it a lot better, by the way. But the biggest pro that the Tiago EV has is the fact that it's actually a 5-door and it can actually seat 5 people, and more importantly, it has a boot that actually can be used. Also, you have to remember the fact that this can actually be used by a fast charger, a 25 kWh fast charger, unlike the Comet, which only uses a 3.3 kWh charger. Now, when you look at the Comet on the other hand, the Comet is extremely funky. I have caught a lot of eyeballs with it, and it is quite fun to drive. Yes, it has its drawbacks, and its biggest drawback is the fact that you don't get a fast charging option. You have to have a charger either at home or in your office, and using a public charger means you're going to spend almost 7 to 8 hours trying to charge this car from empty to full.
The MG, once you drive it, you will realize that it is not a conventional car, it is a gadget. And the Tiago EV, on the other hand, has no such confusion. I love the way the Comet looks and is packaged, and I also like the fact that the range and the battery management system is more accurate. But unfortunately, it doesn't drive like a car and has restricted charging. That makes me sway to the tried and tested formula of the Tiago EV. It has the relevance of an electric car, plus it is more practical. The Comet isn't for everyone, and the Tiago could be. Seals the deal for me.
Thank you so much for watching the latest episode of the Car and Bike Show. If you like this video, let us know in the comments down below if you have any feedback. Also, don't forget to press the like button, don't forget to subscribe to Car and Bike, and press the bell notification icon as well for the latest updates from Car and Bike. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Car and Bike Show. Goodbye.